The Good Doctor premieres tonight, 10/9 Central on ABC.
Tonight, the interview breaking as we come on the air. Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh with his wife by his side. What he's now saying. The new interview just out. As another woman now comes forward. Tonight, a former Yale classmate and her allegation. With that public hearing now set before the American people. Also tonight, the drama playing out at the White House today. Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, who oversees the Russia investigation. Today, he was on his way to the White House. Sources say he was expecting to be fired. What happened when he got there? The desperate search for a missing boy tonight, just 6 years old. He has autism. He is nonverbal. Authorities are now playing audio of his parents' voices, hoping the boy will hear them. Severe storms on the move from the Midwest into the Northeast. And tonight, 10 days after Florence, the new floods. The dramatic drone footage coming in showing where the president was standing with families just days ago. That's now underwater. The Dallas police officer who said she thought it was her own apartment, shooting and killing a neighbor, seen pacing afterward. Tonight, the major new headline in that case. And the survival story, the Marines who ran in a massive apartment complex burning. Tonight, 5 days later, the stunning discovery.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to start another week with you here. And we begin tonight with that interview just coming in with embattled Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh, fighting to save his nomination and his name. With his wife by his side, Kavanaugh defending his integrity tonight, denying accusations of sexual misconduct, and his explanation tonight why he says nothing happened. And it comes as a second woman has now come forward, former Yale classmate Deborah Ramirez, who tells The New Yorker that Kavanaugh exposed himself to her, describing a drunken scene their freshman year. And all of this as Judge Kavanaugh and his first accuser, Dr. Christine Blasey Ford, will now testify before the Senate Judiciary Committee, before the American people on Thursday. Terry Moran has covered the Supreme Court for years for us, and here's what Judge Kavanaugh said just a short time ago.
With his wife Ashley by his side, an emotional Judge Brett Kavanaugh, speaking today to Fox News, defended himself from allegations of sexual misconduct and vowed he would not bow out.
I'm not going to let false accusations drive us out of this process, and we're looking for a fair process where I can be heard and defend my integrity, my lifelong record of promoting dignity and equality for women, starting with the women who knew me when I was 14 years old. I'm not going anywhere.
And he insisted.
I've never sexually assaulted anyone. I did not have sexual intercourse or anything close to sexual intercourse in high school or for many years thereafter.
Through all these years that are in question, you were a virgin.
That's correct.
His nomination reeling from a second accusation of sexual misconduct in his youth. It comes from Deborah Ramirez, a former classmate of Kavanaugh's at Yale University, who spoke to reporters Ronan Farrow and Jane Mayer of The New Yorker magazine. Ramirez says she and Kavanaugh and some friends were playing a drinking game in a dorm room. She says she became intoxicated and acknowledges gaps in her memory. But she says she does recall being on the floor, slurring her words, when a male student exposed himself close to her face. She shoved him away, in the process touching him without her consent. She says she remembers him pulling up his pants. And she told The New Yorker that afterwards, she heard a male student yell down the hallway what had just happened using her name and Brett Kavanaugh's. It was his full name, she says. I don't think it was just Brett. The New Yorker acknowledges it could locate no witnesses who could put Kavanaugh at the party, and that Ramirez at first was not sure it was Kavanaugh who exposed himself. But the magazine notes, after 6 days of carefully assessing her memories and consulting with her attorney, Ramirez said that she felt confident enough of her recollections to say that she remembers it was Kavanaugh. Reporter Jane Mayer insists there is corroboration for Ramirez's story.
We found somebody who remembers hearing about it that night or the next day. Unlike the people at the party, he was very sober and remains a very distinguished person. He's on background. I asked him myself, are you sure this was Brett Kavanaugh that you heard about? He said, I am 100% sure.
It all comes as Judge Kavanaugh and Dr. Christine Blasey Ford prepare to testify on Capitol Hill. Dr. Ford says Kavanaugh sexually assaulted her in high school.
I am not questioning and have not questioned that perhaps Dr. Ford at some point in her life was sexually assaulted by someone in some place. But what I know is I've never sexually assaulted anyone.
President Trump standing by his nominee.
I am with Judge Kavanaugh, and I look forward to a vote. And for people to come out of the woodwork from 36 years ago and 30 years ago and never mention it, all of a sudden it happens. In my opinion, it's totally political. It is totally political.
It's going to be a big week in Washington. Terry Moran live at the Supreme Court tonight, and Terry, Judge Kavanaugh and Dr. Ford are now both expected to testify on Thursday. No other witnesses, just the two of them. And Dr. Ford will go first?
That's right, David. She will go first, followed only by Brett Kavanaugh. She had wanted to call witnesses. A man she says was an eyewitness. He denies it. A polygraph expert who gave her a lie detector test she passed. Some character witnesses. Republicans said no. It'll be just she said, he said.
Terry Moran live at the court tonight. Terry, thank you. The showdown, as Terry mentioned, now set for Thursday morning, and senators are already feeling the heat tonight. All of the Republicans on the Senate Judiciary Committee are men, and many of the senators who will ultimately vote on Kavanaugh are up for re-election. And across this country, very strong opinions on both sides. Mary Bruce on Capitol Hill tonight, where protesters are demanding one senator take a stand, Senator Susan Collins.
We believe Debbie Ramirez. For key Republican Senator Susan Collins, the political pressure today came right to her doorstep. We believe Dr. Ford. Protesters demanding she vote no on Brett Kavanaugh or else.
We believe she can do the right thing, and if she doesn't, we're going to replace her.
Even before a second accuser came out alleging sexual misconduct by Kavanaugh, Collins said she wouldn't be rushed.
I feel pressure? Sure. But I don't feel pressure to make a decision until I'm ready. And by the way, there are like 7 of us that are undecided. It's not just me.
Democrats tonight are demanding the Senate hit the brakes on Kavanaugh's nomination.
Both these women are bravely coming forward with allegations that I think the Judiciary Committee should hear and hear fully.
But Republicans are plowing ahead. Orrin Hatch says the latest allegations are, quote, phony.
Well, it's amazing to me that these allegations come out of nowhere at the last minute.
Republican leader Mitch McConnell today defiant, blasting Democrats for playing politics.
This is what the so-called resistance has become. A smear campaign, pure and simple, aided and abetted by members of the United States Senate.
In a letter to the Republican chairman, Blasey Ford writing, "While I am frightened, please know my fear will not hold me back from testifying." The chairman writing back, "Both of you deserve a credible and fair process," adding in his own handwriting, "P.S. I look forward to your testimony."
And so Mary Bruce up live on the Hill again tonight. Testimony now scheduled for Thursday. As we mentioned, we'll be up on the Hill right there with you, Mary. And by the way, how soon could there actually be a vote after the testimony?
Well, David, the White House is pushing for the committee to vote right after Blasey Ford and Kavanaugh testify on Thursday. And we heard today Republican leader Mitch McConnell insistent. He says there will be an up or down vote on the Senate floor on Kavanaugh's nomination, quote, in the near future. David.
Mary Bruce tonight. Mary, thank you. And as you know, there was another major drama playing out in Washington today. Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, who oversees the Russia investigation, was on his way to the White House. Today, sources say he was expecting to be fired after the New York Times reported he had talked about the possibility of secretly recording President Trump and a reported suggestion to get together members of the cabinet to remove the president. Well, for an hour and a half, there was wall-to-wall speculation playing out live on all of the cables. Would Rosenstein be fired? Would he resign? Well, the answer for now is none of the above. Here's our chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl.
Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein was summoned to the White House today, and as he drove across town, sources told us Rosenstein was expecting to be fired. On cable news, a frenzy of speculation.
Clearly, this is a fast-moving situation. We wait to see exactly how all this will play out.
We are now on Rosenstein watch.
Rosenstein putting out this idea that he is expecting to be fired, maybe trying to stave off a firing.
Rosenstein had been in hot water since the New York Times reported Friday that he had talked last year about recruiting cabinet members to remove President Trump from office by invoking the 25th Amendment. And it even suggested that justice officials secretly record their conversations with the president. The president was asked about it over the weekend.
But will you fire Rod Rosenstein based on this treachery?
I don't want to comment on it. I haven't gotten all the facts. But certainly it's being looked at in terms of what took place, if anything took place. And I'll make a determination sometime later. But I don't have the facts.
In an extraordinary scene at the UN this morning, the president's two top diplomats were asked if they had talked about removing the president from office.
It is completely and totally absurd. No one is questioning the president at all.
I find the question ludicrous. I've never heard anyone talk about it, whisper about it, joke about it in any way.
ABC News has learned Rosenstein had offered to resign over the weekend, but could not agree with the White House on the specifics of his resignation. Today, he spoke with the president by phone and met at the White House with Chief of Staff John Kelly, who in yet another twist walked him out to his car as a smiling Rosenstein went back to the Justice Department, still on the job, at least for now. Meanwhile, at the UN, the president was asked if he is going to fire him.
I'll be back on Thursday, and when I get back, we're going to have a meeting. I spoke with Rod today, and we're going to have a meeting on Thursday when I get back to the White House.
So to be continued on this one, John Karl live at the White House. And John, obviously the big question tonight, will President Trump fire Rosenstein on Thursday? And if he does, who then oversees the Russia investigation? Does it put the investigation at risk?
Well, Rosenstein came to the White House expecting to be fired today, so it is anybody's guess whether or not the president will fire him on Thursday. He is certainly not ruling it out. If Rosenstein goes, the number 3 official at the Justice Department, that is Noel Francisco, the Solicitor General, would oversee the Russia investigation until a Rosenstein replacement is put in place. Now, David, the president's legal team is saying that if Rosenstein goes, the Russia investigation should be put on pause, but there is absolutely no indication that that will in fact happen.
All right, John Karl explaining the day for us. John, thank you. We're going to turn next here to the other news tonight, into a heartbreaking scene unfolding right now. The desperate search at this hour for a missing boy in North Carolina. The 6-year-old was last seen with his father at a state park before vanishing. He has autism, he's nonverbal, and authorities are now playing recordings of his parents' voices, hoping he can hear them. Here's ABC's Eva Pilgrim.
Tonight, the search intensifying for a missing North Carolina boy with autism. The FBI joining police searching for 6-year-old Maddox Rich. He was last seen in this park Saturday with his father and another adult. His father says the boy took off running and disappeared into the woods.
We still want to do everything possible to find Maddox, and we're hopeful that we'll be able to do that.
More than 100 authorities searching 1,400 acres by air, boat, and on the ground, using canines. Officers even looking in dumpsters for any sign of the child. Police say they are not releasing the names of the parents out of respect for their privacy.
Both his mother and father have been very cooperative with us as we're trying to find their son.
The 6-year-old was last seen wearing an orange shirt with the words, "I'm the man," and black shorts with a white stripe. David, Maddox is nonverbal. They are playing recordings of his parents' voices in the park in hopes that he'll respond. David?
Eva, thank you. We are also following severe weather on the move at this hour. Storms in the Midwest moving into the Northeast. We have the track. And now 10 days after Hurricane Florence made landfall, stunning new images of new flooding tonight. President Trump was there in Conway, South Carolina. You remember just days ago talking with the families there, that very spot. Well, tonight, look at it. You can see it there on the left, a church surrounded by water now. The nearby Waccamaw River, already at a record high, is still rising. ABC's Steve Osunsami on the scene for us.
At least one of the rivers causing this emergency won't crest until Wednesday.
This event is not over. The waters are continuing to rise.
Ken Hendrick needs a kayak to get to his flooded home in Conway, South Carolina.
What do these people do that have lived there their whole life, no flood insurance, they're on a fixed income because they're retired?
Just a week ago, you could walk through town. Here's the president in front of a church after the rains from the hurricane stopped. And here's the church now, surrounded by floodwaters that feel biblical. Take a look at these contraptions in Georgetown County. The National Guard tonight is building a floating bridge over floodwaters. Nearly 8,000 people here are being told to get packing tonight. They may need to run. In North Carolina, where the water has receded, Interstate 40 reopened today. The firefighters had to clear away the dead fish first. 350 people had to be rescued from floodwaters like this over the weekend in the state of North Carolina alone. Authorities say that if they ask you to leave, then please do.
David?
So many days after the storm, you're still on it, Steve. Thank you. And as for those storms on the move I mentioned tonight, let's get right to meteorologist Ginger Zee to start another week with us. Ginger?